Hello friends, I'm Kanchan from Akulmach Technologies and we are welcome to our show Top Brass Nation. And today we have a special guest, Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Khatri. He has joined Indian Army through National Defence Academy in 1995. He also contributed in Operation Vijay in 1992 and also in Operation Parakaram in 2002. A part of this, he served in the Indian Army in Kashmir and in northeast and western border during his army tenure. It is my honor to welcome you, Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Khatri, in our show. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Kanchan. It's an honor to be on the show, and it's an absolute proud privilege for me to speak to your audience. Thanks a ton.
As you know, Supreme Court has already has given permission for Indian women to join the army. So, what is your opinion on this judgment of Supreme Court?
It's a positive move in the right direction, and a very welcome step in the interest of the nation. As I would give you some facts and figures. If you take the stats of the working women in India, we have close to about 27% of working women who contribute to about 17% of the GDP of the nation. Whereas any advanced economy, the figures or the contribution of women to the national economy is close to 40%. So we must encourage women to be in this thing, to be in mainstream and to contribute to the GDP of the nation. And as far as women joining armed forces, again, a very positive move. The women coming to armed forces, I have seen them from close quarters because I am from a department called Electronics and Mechanical Engineers, where we've had women officers from the word go when I joined, and they bring a whole lot of skill sets with them. And uh, the fact that Indian Army is grappling with the shortage of officers. Women officers address those issues also, and there are certain aspects where they fare a shade better than men, and hence it's a very positive move. I'm very happy about it.
Yes, as you know that Indian women are always, few of them are always in a warrior mode, like, because we have a history of Rani Lakshmi Bai and other female warriors. But it took a lot
Yeah.
of time after independence for women to really go into Indian army. I was just going through a couple of papers, and I find that Mitali Madhumita is the first woman hero of Indian Army who has received a gallantry
Correct.
award. And so I feel
Correct.
it is quite late actually to acknowledge the contribution of women, especially in fighting or serving a nation through army. What is your opinion on this subject?
Well, yes, too late, but never anything wrong about it. It's a positive move, and yes, I agree. We've been slightly late, but then the reason being is the Indian Army is an extension of the British Army, and we owe many of our customs from the British Army to start with, where the way British treat the women as the queen, and we've treated ladies as respectable ones and not peers, something to be respected or and to be honored and that way. So, but we never treated them as compatriots and to rub shoulders on the battlefield and all. And hence, we were infrastructurally not geared up to accept them. And as you say, the people joining army are also an extension of the Indian culture. The people joining army, we are not coming from any other place. We are the same Indians who coming from the Indian culture. So Indian culture as such was not ready to accept women in positions of power. So gradually women people have accepted, and so has army, and so they have come into this place. And though as a nation we have been late about it, but yes, it's a positive move, and I'm pretty happy about the fact that it has come in, and they will do a whole lot of good to the Indian Army.
So Supreme Court has has give permission to women to join, I think, 10 stream of army on a
Absolutely.
par with their male counterpart. So what are those few of, can we discuss about few streams of army
Absolutely.
where women are inducted?
To start with, when women joined army, it was initially only in the army medical corps and army education corps. Medical corps as doctors, and education corps they used to teach people who joined after class 10th, those jawans who come from villages. Subsequently, it got extended to three more streams, which were essentially support services. One was electronics and mechanical engineers, where we provide repair and recovery facilities to the equipment in the army. Army Ordnance Corps, which is responsible for the clothing, provisioning of clothing and ammunition for the. So these are essentially provisioning and supply chain aspects. And the third one, which has recently come in, is Army Service Corps. So Army Service Corps is the one which provides us rations, fuel, oil for the lubricants for the vehicles and the equipment there. So these are all administrative places where women were inducted. After the recent verdict, five more have been added. These are Corps of Engineers who are into the field of demolitions, bridging, laying mines, and all. Corps of Signals, which is essentially into providing communications while on the move. Army Air Defense, which is there to provide defense from the aircrafts. And two more are military intelligence, where women have been inducted in, and army aviation as pilots. So in total, we have about 10 streams where we are having women officers.
Okay, so what is now the reaction of all long serving army officers towards this new change when they have women officers also? And sometimes I think they are in commanding position. So, how these men, especially in army, reacts to this new situation?
See, it's too early to comment on that because the verdict has just been passed, and post the verdict, mechanism has been put in place for now. Earlier, the women were serving till about 14 years in short service, and in some cases where the terms and conditions of engagement were not very clear to start with, some of them have reached about 18, 19, 20, 21 years of service. So, in those cases, the the thing was not clear in those cases. So now we are putting them through a process wherein they'll go through a selection board, like all male officers do, to assume commanding positions. So these boards are scheduled sometime another year down the lane, and the women officers are gearing up for their levels of fitness. I can see them working on the fitness, and a lot of them making comeback after maternity leaves and all that. So to be on those commanding positions, you need to work on a few things. And the board, once it happens and they assume their positions, that is when we'll get to see how is the army responding. We are pretty optimistic about their capabilities because we've seen them for last 15, 20 years. It's only that seeing them in a particular position which is yet to be tested. Otherwise, they've been for 20 years and they've done a great job, and we're pretty hopeful of them doing a good job.
So now this is a new change when women are in army, and personally I feel that every citizen of India should get army training. But it's good that at least we have increased in our thought process and
Yeah.
work towards this great idea of having women in army. But how this has impacted this decision has impacted Indian society.
It's a positive move. People are seeing Indian Army as an organization which is pro women, which is a neutral organization, which is not gender biased. So the entire image of Indian Army has taken a boost. Uh, and as you rightly said, we have a history of women warriors, and there are a lot of women who are worthy of this uniform and who always want to join this. And this step will go a long way in encouraging those women to take up this profession. So it's a positive move in the right direction.
So, what is your message for young women and girls who want to join army?
To all those viewers, those girls who are in that eligible age bracket to join army, I would say this is one of the finest professions to be in. This is one of the most noble professions to me. I'll say the teaching and soldiering are one of the two finest professions one can think of, because you are doing a whole lot of good to the Indian democracy. As I said, a teacher, a teacher creates a future citizen of the country who is the building block of a democracy, and a soldier is the guardian of the democracy. So if I say, in the interest of the democracy, these two professions are the best. So all the girls who are watching us on the show, I would say, if you have the zeal in you, and you would like to test yourself, this is one of the finest places to be. Please feel free, do opt for this profession, and I assure you a lifetime of satisfaction and a personal growth in this profession.
So, any special training is required before actually giving examination or before you really think of going to army. So, somebody who is interested, especially girls who want to join army. So, any special training or is required before giving exams, or how it is, how to join army?
The exam comprises of essentially two steps. First is a written one, and second is as you know, is a service selection board, it's an interview part of it. So the written part is conducted by the UPSC for an exam called Combined Defense Services (CDS), and it's an objective kind of exam akin to a UPSC exam, with enough weightage on maths and science and social science kind of subjects. So general awareness. Uh, so one can work on these aspects, and the service selection board is a 5-day process wherein you are tested on three fronts. One is a psychologist who tests you on your psychology. Second is a ground testing officer who tests you on your physical prowess and how you work as a team on ground under testing circumstances. And third is the interviewing officer. So these a combination of three people will test you, and then once you get through it, then you undergo a set of medicals. And once you are through with your medicals, then you join OTA Chennai, Officers Training Academy, Chennai, as women officers.
So, I would like to give a message to all Indians from an army officer. Would like to
Yeah.
listen. What is the message from you, from all of us who are
So,
staying in India
yeah.
and think and worry about our nation? Though army officers and army jawans are there to really look after us, but still, what is the message you want to give to all of us?
My message is, irrespective of the fact whether you're in army or in corporate or in any government job, as so long as you understand your obligation to the motherland, uh, the nation as such, who's given you everything that you are today, we owe it to our motherland, and we must endeavor to contribute our bit to the nation. One, not necessarily everybody has to pick up a weapon to fight on the borders. In any field that you're doing, try and be a good citizen, uh, worth the soldier who is fighting for you. Be a citizen worth the soldier dying for you. You must be worthy enough for his effort. So, having been on this side of the fence, I always wanted my fellow countrymen to do their bit for the country as we did our bit. That's about it.
It was so honored to talk to you today, and we have learned so many things about how to go into the army and how we should feel about people who are on other side and looking after the boundaries of India. So it was very lovely talking to you, Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Khatri. So till next time.
Thank you, Kanchan.
So next time.
Thank you, Kanchan. It was an absolute honor to speak to you, and it was a great time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.